Hello everyone, it's Monday the 13th. Hope you're all doing well. Just a little video update for this week and talk a little bit about last week's readings. Somebody asked me this week, an email, what they meant by authoritative sources for your counter-argument. By authoritative sources and sources that aren't just convenient, what I mean are sources that you would find you'd have to go outside of our readings. You could formulate your counter-argument using much of the readings for this course, but you need to go outside the readings and find other sources. Authoritative readings are journal articles, books, chapters of edited books, etc. What is not an authoritative source? Wikipedia is not an authoritative source. Psychology Today, not an authoritative source. Journal articles, books, chapters in edited books that have been written by people who are experts in the field. If you're still not sure what that means, let me know and I can certainly talk about that in a little more detail. But it means really get outside of the course readings. Go to the library or get online where you can access the library if you're at a distance. And do some searches and find things that you normally never would have read or been exposed to. That's really what it means. Something else I was going to talk about? Oh yes, we're on functionalism now. If you have read the article for the counter-argument, I hope you all have at least read it by now, you'll probably notice it seems very different to what functionalism is all about. In fact, if you think about it, it's almost diametrically opposite of what functionalism is all about. So, if you're writing a counter-argument to this article and looking for something as evidence, you might want to consider grounding your counter-argument in functionalism and use functionalist authors for your support. Talking about the readings from last week, very interesting. I really enjoyed reading them, and I'm going to respond individually to some of you this week. Just to give a little more personalized feedback, I think some of you might like that, might help. Not that any of you have done anything wrong. You've all been very prepared and very thoughtful, which makes my job a lot more easy and enjoyable too. But one I want to talk about is written by this guy named Doomer. Never heard of the man. It was something that was written long ago. And the reason it was written is because this author wanted to be able to talk about things like Western civilization canon and multiculturalism at a professional meeting. Problem was, 20 years ago, and even more recently, it sometimes is hard for people to have these discussions because those words, they're like red flags. They tend to incite some people, and it makes it difficult for people to get beyond those words and have a really thoughtful, meaningful discussion. So I think what that author, Doomer, is trying to do was talk about, really, multiculturalism and Western civilization, canon, foundational knowledge, without using those terms so that people could talk about it without getting upset, without actually knowing that they're talking about it. You see, I've known this guy, Doomer, for a long time. He's a devious little SOB. You can't take your eyes off him for a minute. I think what he was really trying to do in that article is push or emphasize essential Western Civ knowledge, Western Civ canon, foundational knowledge he calls it. Because if you look at the emphasis in the article, what he's saying is foundational knowledge is essential, while specialized knowledge, which in other words is the multicultural curriculum, is not quite as important. We can leave it for other courses. We can push it down the road. Think about it that way. Very clever. Curious what some of you think about that. At any rate, look forward to hearing your comments this week. As always, if you have any questions about anything, please reach out to me. I'm always glad to talk with you. And I will be in touch with some individualized feedback for you this week. If you haven't started working on your counter argument, at least, please read it. Start making notes, making comparisons to what you know so far about functionalism. I think it will start to help you prepare a really good outline, amass some points you can use to refute the article for your counter argument. Anyway, I'll be in touch. Look forward to talking with you all soon. Bye.